Hello family, Godwin Freeman is my name. Welcome to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can join the community of healthy life, wealthy relationships. Click on the notification bell, share this video with your friends and your loved ones, like this video, and most importantly, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video. Today we are looking at enhancing intimacy in your romantic relationship. When we talk about intimacy, what does it mean? The layman definition of intimacy means into me you see. So when you understand the definition of intimacy, one of the ways you can actually enhance your intimacy with your partner is by being vulnerable with your partner. Because there is no way intimacy can be fulfilled without vulnerability, because it takes vulnerability for you to become intimate with someone. That is why intimacy means into your partner you can see, into their mind you can see, into their future you can see, into their insecurities you can see, into their world you can see. So vulnerability actually means that being naked and unashamed before your partner. Your partner is able to create that safe space and that safe haven and that peace of mind for you to share your mind, share your feelings, share your thoughts, share your insecurities, your successes, your joy, your aspirations and your visions with them without any sense of fear, any sense of guilt, any sense of judgment or rejection. So you see, for you to become intimate with your partner, you need to attain a certain level of vulnerability with them. That is why intimacy cannot be fulfilled where there is no vulnerability. And when I talk about vulnerability, don't mistake that to mean being emotionally unstable. There is a slight difference between being vulnerable and being emotionally unstable or being emotionally unstable, okay? When we say you are emotionally unstable, it means you are whining, you are complaining, you are nagging, or you are having an emotional outburst where you are just hitting your partner with words, foul words, and evil words here and there. That is not what I mean when I talk about being vulnerable with your partner. And I'm going to explain vulnerability in a bit like I've already done. How well are you able to see into your partner? How well are you able to look into your partner? How well do you see your partner beyond surface tension? Do you know their insecurities? Do you know their fears? Do you know some of their trivialities? Do you know some of the things they go through deep down within them that they have not even shared with anyone? It takes vulnerability to get the most and the best out of your relationship. Pause. I know you may be thinking that be vulnerable. I will never be vulnerable with any individual on this earth because I tried that before in my past experiences with my past friends, in my past relationships, and it took me nowhere. And you see, you need to understand that when it comes to the game of vulnerability, the problem was not with you being vulnerable, but the recipient of your vulnerability. Because no matter how potent and powerful vulnerability is, if it falls in the hands of the wrong person, they can use it to gaslight you, they can use it to play victim, they can use that same thing you have shared with them to manipulate you negatively. So I'm not saying that go out there and be sharing your vulnerabilities or your insecurities or your fears and your victories with anyone on the street. I'm talking about a healthy, a sane, a sound and a fruitful, long-lasting relationship where both of us are envisaged something ahead of us, where both of us have a goal and a commitment and something ahead of us that we are looking at because we are on the same mind, we are like-minded about this relationship. If you are in that situation, then trust me, you can get the most and the best out of your relationship by being vulnerable. So don't go out there being vulnerable with any individual. However, make sure you are vulnerable with your partner. The number one reason why vulnerability is key and important in your life is because that is how you are going to expose the right partner from the wrong partner. In fact, vulnerability can be right for you if you know how to yield it very well. So you may say that I'm never going to be vulnerable again because I tried that the first time and Charlie, it wasn't the best result I got. However, vulnerability can even become a tool for you. How will you be able to expose darkness if not with light? How will you be able to expose whether this person is right for you or not, except you share a bit of your vulnerabilities with them? For you to use that to test and know whether they can actually handle your fears, whether they can actually handle your insecurities. So by being vulnerable with the right person, they will appreciate you. But by being vulnerable with the wrong person, they will take advantage of you. So by so doing, you can be able to tell that no, I'm not going to be vulnerable with this person again because I just shared a tip of the iceberg and I realized they didn't take it so well. I realized they were getting jealous. I realized they were feeling insecure. I realized they were treating me harshly just because I shared a tip of the iceberg with them. I hope you understand me. That means that the vulnerability that you were or you exposed to your partner was used as a tool to see whether this person can actually handle your fears, whether this person can actually handle your insecurities, or whether this person may manipulate you with that same thing, or whether because the person knows that this is the struggles you are having sexually, or this is the struggles you are having financially, or this is the struggles you are having emotionally, they now decide to take advantage of you by manipulating you with that same thing you have shared with them. That reveals that they are not the right person for you. So the reason why you need to learn to be vulnerable, at least to a point, is because you can use this as a tool to expose the right person from the wrong person, because the right person is going to appreciate you for being vulnerable. The right person is going to embrace your weakness for being vulnerable. The right person is going to see how they are going to help you out with your insecurities and your fear just because you decided to be vulnerable with them. The second reason why vulnerability is very key in your relationship, if you want to enjoy the highest form of intimacy, and I'm not talking about sexual intimacy here, in your relationship, is that vulnerability helps you to connect more and bond with the right partner. Trust me, there is no relationship that has ever survived tides and issues here and there without any level of vulnerability. Your relationship cannot give you the best if both of you don't decide to be vulnerable, to be naked and unashamed before each other, to freely share your fears and your insecurity. If you do this with the right person, they are going to know you on a deeper level. They are going to know how to treat you better, because by being vulnerable, you have exposed a part of yourself to them that no one else, probably in this world, not even your parents or your siblings, are aware of. And by doing, they even know how to treat you right, because they know you are struggling with a certain weakness, or they know you are struggling to do certain things in life. So therefore, they now pledge to be the best partner you need. They now pledge to be there for you as and when you need them, because you decided to share a past experience with them, because you decided to share an experience in the past that you had that you are struggling to get over. Trust me, vulnerability can become a therapy if you know how to build it very well. Vulnerability can give you the best that you can afford to have if you are doing it with the right person, and if you are constructive about how you go about it. Your partner can be able to connect with you at a deeper level. The third reason why vulnerability is good in your relationship is because you cannot walk on eggshells for the rest of your life with this person. You cannot always be walking on eggshells, making sure that you are dotting your I's, underlining your Y's, and crossing your T's when you are always with this person. You can't keep all those worst fears and insecurities and problems you are having within you forever. At one point, it may come out unexpectedly. And you see, sometimes if you are not constructive with your vulnerabilities, with your fears, your negativities, and your insecurities, and you don't expose these things to your partner, at a point they may say some things or do some things that may trigger out all these insecurities, and you may lash out on them. By so doing, you exposed it, but at the wrong timing. So you are going to make them second guess. So if it wasn't because of this situation that happened, if it wasn't because of this conflict or misunderstanding you guys were having, you wouldn't have even shared this aspect of your life with them. So the reason why you need to be vulnerable to keep intimacy in your relationship is because you can't walk on eggshells all the time. At a point, you need to be vulnerable. I would rather you do it in a constructive, safe space way. I would rather you call your partner and have a sit-down conversation with them and let them know some of the challenges and fears you have been experiencing all this while, than for you to lash out on them or to experience an emotional outburst just because of a situation both of you were having and you couldn't control yourself and you just lashed out. Because most times you are suppressing all these issues you are having. Most times you are suppressing all these negativities you are having. And when the right buttons are pushed, you are going to lash out on your partner, and that wouldn't be a healthy environment for you, because you can't keep all these things within you forever. You can't be always walking on eggshells and see whether you are doing things right or wrong just because you want to keep a part of yourself that you don't want your partner to know. And I get you. Like I said, if you think that they are going to take advantage of you for sharing because you have done that before, if you think they might abuse you or gaslight you because you decided to be vulnerable with them, then I don't even understand why you are insisting to be in such unhealthy dynamic in the first place. But I trust that this person will know how to handle your fears and how to even help you sail through them at the end of the day. Finally, The reason why being vulnerable in your relationship is it will immensely and tremendously bless you if you want to enjoy the best of intimacy in your relationship. It's because vulnerability will even help you to assess yourself and your emotions, to know whether you are hurting from past relationship issues or past trauma experiences or not. So by being vulnerable, you can be able to know whether are you still carrying excess baggage from the past experiences into this relationship. Because most times, I've seen this from counseling, the more you struggle to be vulnerable with your partner, it reveals that probably you need a lot of healing to be done, because you have probably bottled up a lot of things within you emotionally: hurt, anger, offenses, bitterness, revenge, unforgiveness. All these things, you bottle them up within you. So it makes it difficult for you to now open yourself up to your partner, because they are going to temper with your insecurities. They are going to temper with all your fears. They are going to temper with all your trust issues. As a result, you wouldn't want to expose all these things to them. And by so doing, you can tell yourself that no, the way I'm struggling to be vulnerable with my partner, that means that there is something wrong with me emotionally. That means that there are past experiences that I've not dealt with, that I need to expose these things, if not to my partner, then the right counsel or professionals, so that they can help me deal and unpack all these negative emotions that I'm experiencing. So you see, by being vulnerable, it helps you to know that you struggling to be vulnerable means that maybe you are still hurting, maybe you are still not healed from all these past negative experiences you are having. So therefore, let's seek the help of an expert or the help of a counselor to help us unpack all these negative emotions. But at the end of the day, vulnerability is good for you if you are with the right person. If you give that exposure to this person to see you through and through, to see you beyond the surface, to see you beyond what others think you are, or that facade you have built outside there, that image you have built that people don't even know who you are. If you expose this aspect of yourself to the right person, trust me, they are really going to appreciate it. And that is one of the best gifts you can actually give to your partner. So in conclusion, one of the best gifts you can actually give to your partner in a sane, healthy, romantic relationship is by being vulnerable to them. If you are struggling to be vulnerable, ask yourself why and seek the right medical attention. Godwin Freeman is my name. Don't forget to join the community of healthy life, worthy relationships by subscribing to this YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell. Share this video with your friends and your loved ones. Like this video also. But most importantly, let me know what you think about this video on being vulnerable with your partner. Let me know some of the experiences you guys have had by being vulnerable with some people and how they took advantage of you. Until then, we will meet next time. Godwin Freeman here. Bye.